Hey gang, still recording in a different room. I know you can tell. There's a weird seductive moose on the post behind me. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. um, but I have this idea about, I kind of want to discuss, what happens if you're alive at the end of the movie. Or the game, or whatever. Um, and I mean, if you're alive at, say, the end of Slender Man, you're not actually alive. Oops, did I spoil it? Maybe. But that remains to be seen. Okay, well, it really depends on how the rest of the movie ends, because say like 28 days later, and they're all like, hey, we're flagging down this plane, and they can see that we need help, and blah, blah, blah. But then they made a sequel of that, and none of those people are even in it, and you wonder, what happened to them? Why isn't this sequel about these people? I'm really pissed off right now. So you have that, you have the really hopeful, oh my god, everything's gonna be better, we're gonna get saved. But then it's like, but isn't the whole world falling apart? So aren't we only safe for like 2 minutes? Or maybe like a day at the most, probably? Before more zombies come and attack, rage at us and... Or I mean, and then you could end like Lord of the Rings and oh, I'm alive at the end, but I'm just gonna run away with the elves anyway. Come on, Frodo, that's a horrible cop-out. Leave your best friend behind like that? Horrible. Master Frodo, I will be with you forever, says Sam. Yeah, or he'll be the king forever, like Aragorn was at the end of Lord of the Rings. That's pretty cool. Or the movie can end in a way that doesn't warrant a sequel, but you have a sequel anyway, and then you're like, how does this person live through this movie too? I don't get that. Also, a way to stay alive by the end of the movie is to not have sex, if we can follow slasher movies. Because, when the people have sex in the slasher movies, they're dead. Only the person that never gets shown doing such naughty deeds, which I do not condone, at least depending on your age and your consenting status. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, usually the innocent whatever person does not die in the movie. Unless you're talking Cabin in the Woods, where the innocent girl lives till the end, which you know is going to happen. And then, spoiler alert, plug your ears if you do not want this to be spoiled. But in my eyes, you will love this movie whether or not you know how it ends. Okay, spoiler now. The girl lives till the end, but in order to prevent the world from ending, she has to die too. But does she? No, her and the other guy, the guy that's left, just sit there and the world ends instantaneously. Let's just say when I went to this movie, I was just laughing hysterically at the very end. Which, if you will not really understand unless you actually see the movie, why I would have laughed hysterically at the world ending. Okay. It's also the thing where you might be alive, but maybe you're the only person left alive, and there's no food left. Obviously, you might have lived till the end of the movie. Yay! But nothing good's gonna happen to you in the next however long it takes you to starve to death. And I mean, there's zombies everywhere, or there's nuclear fallout everywhere. You can't leave your bunker. You can't... You're screwed, okay? Unless a doctor shows up in a TARDIS. Whatever. Or say you'll live till the end of the movie, and then the creature comes at you, like, right before the credits roll. And you don't know whether or not the person dies or not. Say... Or say that you're in a superhero movie. Maybe you do die at the end of the movie, and maybe you come back. Or maybe you live till the end of the movie, and they didn't like the movie enough, and then they completely redo it and cast someone else in it. Like what they did with Spider-Man. Like what they did with 3 different Hulks. since the guy in the Avengers is the third guy playing the Hulk. So yeah, you can do things like that. Or you could also do, hey, blah 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 died at the end of this movie, but surprise, he's back! Which kind of happened in The Dark Knight Rises simply because Ra's al Ghul appeared and you're like, oh my god, he's totally not dead. There's no way he's not dead. And it's like, oh, he's a ghost. Oh, okay. But, you know, Batman really thought he was talking to him. That's all I'm going to say about that. Or say you live till the end of the movie and the movie also ends in a way that there would be a sequel, but the movie is also really horrible and no one wants to even see what happens next. Or say Cloverfield, you live till the end of the movie and then you get eaten by the monster. My biggest issue with the end of that movie though was because the filming style was made to be like a realistic thing. But if the guy got eaten camera and all at the end of the movie, why would the footage still exist? You destroyed the realism with that ending, even though I kind of liked it. My friend and co-star really did rather like the film. I wasn't too big of a fan, but I did inform her that I would try to watch it again just to see if I had a different opinion. Also, it was probably because it was the first movie I saw in that style and that really threw me off. But plenty of good movies done in a similar fashion that have come out since then, such as District 9, which starts out documentary style and then totally shifts to like straight up action, like whatever movie. Highly recommended. Also, Chronicle, which is about these dudes that find something in a cave and then cool stuff happens. Which basically the Chronicle begins because some kid decides to chronicle every event in his unimpressive, low self-esteem life. Not to badmouth the kid or anything, because I was kind of feeling for him until like halfway through the movie. But I don't necessarily want to spoil that movie, just because if I actually gave you a spoiler for that movie, you probably wouldn't even want to watch it. Say, not like my spoiler for the ending of Cabin in the Woods. But you could also totally be alive at the end of the movie and some crazy thing happens where you get transported to an alternate dimension and you can't actually interact with anyone and no one knows you're there. Like in this horror movie I watched recently, which was actually pretty bad, even though it was pretty good starting out. I believe it was called They. I'm not sure when it came out. Wes Craven produced it. Didn't direct it, but it could have been a better movie if he did, I'm sure. But what if you live at the end of the movie and you're actually like undead? You're like a zombie. You know, would there be a sequel starring Zombie U? Which is a game coming out to the Wii U, by the way. Zombie U. But yeah, I mean, I'd really like to see a movie where the zombie was the main character. And no, not that German pornographic movie that my friend Felix tried to tell me about. No. No. Not something I want to see in a zombie movie. Thank you. Or what if you live till the end and you find out you're a robot? Were you ever really alive? Or what if you live till the end and you don't know if you were if you don't really know if you're a robot, and neither do any of the viewers, like the end of Blade Runner. Great movie, by the way. Ridley Scott, awesome. Edward James Olmos, Harrison Ford, Daryl Hannah, and whoever that other guy is. I don't remember his name. Yeah. But lots of androids and other cool things. And hand-painted sets, which still look really good today. Or you could be a ghost if you live till the end of the movie, like Sixth Sense. Or what if you live till the end of the movie and you find out your life was a lie? Like that other movie by the guy that did that movie, The Village. Now talk about really horrible twist endings. M. Night Shyamalan always delivers on really horrible twist endings. Because you're like, oh my god, I totally didn't see that coming. But I also didn't see how horrible that movie would end. also didn't see how horrible that movie would be in general, because it's like, oh my god, hey, this concept's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting, it's kind of whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, our 18th, 19th century village is actually in a nature preserve somewhere. Or, the guy's a ghost. I don't know. I mean, I'm the only person that watched that movie that didn't see that coming. But depending on what the movie is, I'm not always the most observant as far as that kind of thing. I don't really necessarily look for clues when I watch movies. I kind of just want to enjoy them. Or you live till the end of the movie and the whole world's a lie. Or you live till the end of the movie and you actually have multiple personality disorder and you're hallucinating the entire event that happened, like in the film Vacancy, I think it was. Was it Vacancy? Oh well. No, I don't think it was Vacancy. It was some other. Yeah, maybe it was. Like, I don't know. It was another movie similar to that. If it wasn't that movie, so you've got people stuck at a hotel and weird stuff happens. Or Resident Evil, where there's no way you should be alive at the end of the movie, yet they keep making a sequel, which is not connected to the game series at all, which I still never really understand, except for the fact that some of the characters have the same names or look like the other characters. But yeah. But there are plenty of good horror and other genre of movies that people live at the end of the movie and they're actually really good. Yeah! Well, and there's plenty of really good movies that even though everyone dies at the end, it's still pretty like, oh my god, I'm really thinking about that now. Oh, I don't want this to happen. But I really don't know how anyone lived till the end of Day After Tomorrow, or 2012, or Independence Day. I really don't understand that. Or you can do Alien, where only one person ever survives till the end of the movie. With the exception of Aliens, except the cat and the little girl die at the beginning of Alien 3, so yeah, nothing there really. But you also have Alien 3 where Ripley dies at the end of the movie and she comes back in a really horrible movie that I don't think anyone should watch. Well, that's all I have to say.